talking, and then we will be in Venice. All right, cool. All right, I think we got it all squared away. So let's see. Let me go back all the way beginning. Elise, missed you too. Hello, good to see you. Angie, hello, welcome. Thank you for welcome back. April, hello. Lee, hello. Ann says hi. Yeah, good to be home. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a week. Jan, Karen from Long Island, hello. Kathy, hello from New Hampshire. Michelle says hi. Instagram's checking in nice. Root Shannon checking in. Very cool. I think I got you, Michelle. Donna from Kentucky says hello. Good evening. Ooh, it's raining in Florence, Oregon, says Jenna. Gina? Joyce from Texas. Good evening. Vicky says hello. Hello. Roxanne out of the gate coming in from Newfoundland. Good evening. We're now international. How fun is that? Gail says go Patriots. Yeah, I agree with that. Dan checking in from Winnipeg. Very cool. Also another Canadian. Joanne, hello. Margie, hello from St. Pete. Corey from Connecticut. Shannon says hey. Warner Robbins, Lori's checking in. Angie, yeah, missed you guys all too. Snowy Ontario, Kathy's there. International, hip hip hooray. Yeah, Donna, I like it. I agree. Jason checking in from Toronto. Very cool. Got a lot of updates for you guys. A couple different things. Let me get through the list here, get to the bottom, and we'll be caught up. Kathy from Central Cal. Jamie says hey. Kimberly from Southern Cal. Tammy's here. Hey, hey. Yeah, May I survived the slingshot. Wasn't that crazy? Yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to like that. But we did. Roscoe, Illinois. Becky's checking in. Lee, hello. Karen says hey. Karen saying hey to Dan. Got it. Diane, good evening. Welcome. I'm glad to be back. Carol from Kokomo. New Mexico, Marcia's checking in. Kansas City from Terry, hello. Linda checking in from Indiana. Go Patriots, I like it. I like all the Patriots fans joining me here. That's pretty fun. Laura is raining in New Jersey. Amy says hi from Kentucky. New York City. Keith, good evening. Ha! I can't wait to see Lee is in page 5 of this week's weekly. Very cool, Lee. Elise. Yeah, no Elise. Paula, good evening to you. Andrea, hello. Let's see. About Prezo, Pam's checking in. Kristen's here from Cal. Yeah, Linda, I did ride the slingshot ride. There's a video on Facebook. I Facebook Live from there. Linda, hello from Sandwich, Illinois. Marie, hello. Jill says go Eagles. I don't really care who wins. I like the Patriots to win because I've been a Patriots fan forever, but football and I aren't really getting along anymore. Tammy's Instagram's acting up. Facebook is acting up. You're over on Instagram, so cool. Danielle from Chicago. Jamie from Jersey. Very, 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 very fun. So, yeah, let's get caught up on a lot of things. I don't have a formal show for you tonight. I really just want to check in and see how you're doing. That was kind of my hope for tonight, was just see what's going on, answer whatever questions you have, whatever you missed, get you caught up in my week. My week was just absolutely wall-to-wall, jammed-packed down in Orlando. It's funny, I tell people all the time, I was in Orlando for a week, but I didn't even really see the sun. So that was kind of interesting. So Kimberly's in Donnie. Very cool. Diane out of Naples. Yeah, Angie, I bet you're loving Wonderland. It's a good place to be, isn't it? Absolutely is a good place. So, yeah, so let's get caught up a couple things. Detroit, for those of you who are following along the Detroit saga, I got the email finally today where we confirmed the room. So now that I know where I'm staying, I know when I'm going to arrive, we're now going to work on piecing together. I got a couple emails today from folks who want to organize us to hang out together while we're up in Detroit. So if you're going to Detroit, on the next show, I'll have a little more detail for you. But February 10th is the day. It's on the Dr. Nandy television show. I believe you can still get tickets. I'm not 100% positive of that. Over on Instagram, you'll be able to see the link to the bio, and that's where the opportunity to get tickets there is. It doesn't cost anything. It's just a matter of you committing to going. But we're probably going to do something that evening as well, so that'll be something for you to look out for. Be kind of fun. So that's the deal on Detroit. And let's see. The next thing is Orlando. Been in Orlando all week. Got rode the slingshot. We did a Facebook Live from the slingshot. It was 390 feet up in the air, and so it was a little intimidating. I'll give you that. It was kind of weird, but it was kind of cool because I don't know if you saw that they put this harness over you, and the first thing I said was, "Hey, it fits." Kind of a neat feeling when that happens. Robin's checking in from Tampa. Hello to you. Good evening. So, let's see what else we got going on. All kinds of stuff. So my inbox is absolutely exploding. So I appreciate that. It's going to make the next handful of shows. Yeah, Tim, we did it twice. It's going to make the next handful of shows that much more better because I've been reading the content as it comes in, and it's you guys are really, really impressive, and some of the things you're going through, some of the amazing accomplishments you've able to accomplish, all of them incredible. So can't wait to do that. Rebecca, yeah, so no, it is Detroit. I think it's going to be fun, but yeah, living in Oklahoma is going to make it difficult to get to Detroit. I get it. We'll probably Facebook Live a couple times from there. Obviously not from the studio. I'm sure they won't let me. But maybe before we go in and that evening, whatever we end up doing that evening, we'll do it. So Cheryl checking in from Virginia. Hello. Nancy checking in from Oregon. First time here. Very nice. Welcome in, Nancy. Good to see you. Robin, I don't know what the Orlando Eye is. I guess I didn't ride that. I don't know. Oh, that's that big Ferris wheel thing, right? Yeah, we did not do that. We did the slingshot instead. I think the Orlando Eye would have been safer and more fun. I don't know. It was kind of crazy. So how was your week? What's going on? Where are you at? What do we need to discuss? What do we need to talk about? This is just a Q&A show. Gonna just spend probably no more than about a half hour. I really just want to check in, get a feel for what's going on before I work into the next show. As you noticed, I did 4 shows last week before I left just to get caught up so that we would have something. But I'm out of the loop as far as you guys. So I need to know where you're at, where your head's at, where your mind's at, and so we'll work on the next couple shows getting that. So that's kind of what tonight's for, just for us to regroup, get back in the swing of things, and then we'll plan on the next couple shows. Donna, you're very welcome. So those of you who got the postcards, it's all I did was I went through those of you who were in the database as patrons who are supporting the show. That's the list I used. If you entered your mailing address in there, my wife hand wrote all those. I don't know if you noticed that, but she sat right there and hand wrote all of them, and then I went through and signed the bottom of them. So it's kind of a team effort, but she rocks for doing that. And so yeah, it's just my way of saying thanks to you for the continued support. I got some exciting news as we roll into February. You guys have stepped up in a much bigger way than I anticipated. So there's a chance that February is going to be relatively commercial free for the most part. So that's going to be kind of cool. I think we agree that is the intent for both of us, right? It's a lot easier for me to manage on my side, a lot easier for you guys not have to hear the commercials, but it's all about building the dream. So the commercials provide a great source of revenue to do that, but it's about us getting in and kind of interacting. So very, very cool. So I'll have an update for that in the next couple of days. I'm looking at that data stuff too. So, but anyway, Donna, back to that. You're very, very welcome. So thank you for the support for sure. Robin, so this is going to be a little probably an unpopular answer, right? So how do you stay on plan while traveling? It depends. When I was losing weight, it was very very important for me to learn how to eat on the road, and so I did. The time that I was losing weight, I packed. We went to Walmart. I took a sandwich to the golf course 2 days in a row. Ate fruit every chance I got, and I really did well during the weight loss phase. And so now that I'm in this balance, maintenance or lifetime, whatever you want to call it, I was in Orlando for a week. I didn't stress over it. I didn't go crazy, right? From that standpoint, I just mindfully, I chose everywhere I went. I chose kind of what I wanted and what was the best of a thing without overeating, without going, just completely crazy. So I think, Robin, the answer to that is obviously it depends on where you are in your journey, depends on where you are in your mindset, and if your mindset is locked into that weight loss mode, you just take your why and you say, my why is pretty strong. I know why I'm doing this, and so would I rather have this or whatever than my goal? And I think what comes along a time where I was having a great conversation today with a friend of mine, and she was asking about setting her goal weight and is she ready to set a goal weight, and we have to go back and figure out what is best for her. And the reality is that I talked about my trip to Orlando. There was a night we went to a concert. The whole concert sponsored by Budweiser. Budweiser donates $2 million to the concert at that concert as a donation. It's $1.9 million they give to our foundation, and so they pay for all the beer there. And they're 7 points a piece. I had a couple of them, but I had a day's worth of points in the course of a couple hours. So, the whole thing about, this is, so back when I was losing weight, I would not have done that. But now in the maintenance mode, I'm now balancing that with a little bit of enjoyment in life. And so, yeah, it's so to answer your question specifically, Robin, it depends on where you're at in your journey, depends on what your goals are, depends on what your why is. But it can be done is the piece you need to know. You absolutely can stay on plan while traveling. How bad do you want it? That's kind of the answer. So, Lori's saying struggling with your why. So, in what capacity? So every time I see that often, right? That's probably a very common post comment tag that I get is help me. I'm struggling with my why. So, the piece that I can offer to that, Lori, is as you're working this year, and you joined for a reason. You walked into that meeting room or you paid online, you pulled out your credit card. There was a very specific reason you did that. You may truly not know what your why is, but you generally have a sense of what happened when you walked into that meeting room, what you were thinking, what your mindset was. And generally speaking, it's not because we love ourselves. It's not because we're happy with the way we look. It's not because all the clothes we have look great on us. Those generally aren't reasons people join Weight Watchers. So usually it's just the opposite. So it doesn't mean that that is your why. Like just because I don't like the way I look, that may not be strong enough as the why. Just because the clothes I'm wearing don't fit may not be strong enough as a why. But what I can tell you is you walk through the journey with that initially. You say, I'm not happy with the way I look. I'm not happy with the way I feel. I'm not happy with the way my clothes fit. Let me use that initially to get going. You use that as your motivation to maybe lose 10% of your weight or 20% of your body weight. And then when you start getting there comes a point in your journey where you hit what we call the complacency stage, right? Where all of a sudden now you're feeling better, your clothes are fitting better, you're doing things you weren't able to do. And at that stage of the game, that is where it becomes very critical. Because if you join for the sake of, I don't like the way I look, I don't like the way I feel, and you suddenly all of a sudden start getting those feelings back, hey, these clothes fit, I like the way I look. The temptation is to call that good enough and be content. And if you do that, the danger there is a lot of us say we want, when we join, we say we want to feel better, we want to look better. But the reality is it doesn't take much to look and feel better. But what you're really after, and a lot of us don't admit it or don't say it, is we want to look and feel great. So rather than saying, I want to look better, I want to feel better, you say, I want to look great. I want to look the best I've ever had. I want to be the best shape of my life. I want to be, all that better and best are two different things. If all of a sudden, you lose 10 pounds and your pants fit better, but they're still, bigger than the pair of pants you truly want to wear. Like when I think I was wearing, I don't even remember down the size, I guess 46s, I guess. So when I went to a 44, yeah, I felt better. When I went to a 4, I don't even remember what size it was. That's how long it's been. I don't even remember. But yeah, they're 40s anyways. So when I went from a 42 to a 48 or to a 38, yeah, I felt better. But that wasn't the goal. And so when you're struggling with your why, you have to just stay with the mindset of, I want to feel the best I can. I want to eat the best I can. I want to live the best life I can. At some point, you'll start realizing things that you can do now that you never could do. But it really takes getting in that middle, what we call complacency, and pushing past that. And then every single day you hit a new low weight, you hit a new run time, a new step distance, and you keep up with that lifestyle and you'll be rewarded. And then, sometimes a lot of us don't figure out our why until it's almost over. And so that was kind of my deal. I didn't really truly understand why until I kind of got really close to goal, and now I get it. So Mary's in Central Virginia, getting close to goal, need motivation. Well, that's why we're here. Very fun. Cheryl lost 3 pounds this week. Very nice. Kathy says finally got freestyle going without it being a free for all. Yeah, that there's a lot of transition, right? A lot of folks are having a hard time with the transition from Smart Points to freestyle. I got a couple emails on that recently. I don't know how to steer folks, because the things that I know about the journey now that I didn't know when I started, and I didn't really realize until recently, but the plan doesn't really matter. I'll say that out loud, is that, what matters is you understand why you're doing it. You understand what your motivation is. You understand that you are now working a completely new lifestyle. But the actual plan that you're following, we've said this before, there are so many successful people who've done everything we're trying to do. Many of them didn't use Weight Watchers. Many of them used an old program. Many of them did it on their own. There are many, many different ways to get this done. So I think the biggest struggle with freestyle for a lot of us, and myself included, that's why I think this, is when it was initially launched, I was content doing what I was doing, and it was working fine for me. And then all of a sudden, a program that I knew how to work was working fine for me. It completely changed. It absolutely threw me for a loop mentally. And so what I've done now is I've figured out that, I figured out what I need, and I figured out how to work it in my way where it now works for me. But it's not the plan. It's me understanding what my life goals are. And my life goals is I want to be fit and healthy and that type of stuff. And that I'm able to do regardless of what plan I follow. But yeah, I get, the whole, it's not the free fall for not weighing and measuring food, but I still kind of know, I was very good at understanding portion sizes once I got to goal. So because I was so disciplined during the weight loss phase, I understand now how little food my body needed to actually sustain life. Whereas I was giving it 2 or 3 times more food than it needed. Now I truly understand that. So now I'm eating normal portions, and and a lot of it is regardless of freestyle or not. So, and good to see you as well. Thank you. Hello. Let's see. Andy says hello. Yeah. Lee says, same way you do at home. Make plan-friendly choices and track. That's how you handle vacation. I got it. I saw that. Jamie says she finally got under 400 and bawled like a baby in the meeting room on Saturday. How amazing is that? Congratulations. That's life-changing. And so, what I want you to do is just continue focusing on 1 pound at a time and keep going in that direction. You're going to get exactly where you want to go. You've proven you can do it. That's the coolest thing of this entire program is that every time you take a step in this journey and you lose 1, 2, or 3 pounds, if you've done that deliberately, look at those actions that it took, and and so you can repeat those for a very, very, very long time and have a lot of very good success. So Margie says she's fighting the last 5 pounds for goal. You lose the last 5 pounds the same way you lost the first 5 pounds. Very, very cool. Rachel down 3.8 for a total of 30.2. Congratulations. Lori ran a 5K on Saturday, beat her first 5K time by 17 minutes. Wow. Ran 90% of it on Saturday. Congratulations. Very, very, very. Feels great, doesn't it? That's awesome. Linda, so Linda's saying the first 3 weeks of January were an adjustment, but you're totally getting back in the groove now. You're so happy. Yep. That's the other thing. I don't know how much, and I don't even know because someone emailed me, and I don't know. I have not been following the post regarding those who like freestyle and those who don't like freestyle. I kind of stay in my lane with that. I don't get involved in that, but I think a lot of it too is for many of us is that it was not even the right time to make a plan shift. So I'm not sure, and I don't even know, but I'm not sure if so many people aren't happy with freestyle as much as they were just having a hard time over the holidays and now readjusting. So, but it's all an adjustment for the rest of our lives. We're going to be making adjustments. Robin says, my weight varies day to day. I noticed yours does too. How do you keep same with those varying numbers? So if you watch me, I weigh in every single morning, right? And so the first thing I did this morning, I got back from my trip on, not actually yesterday morning, I got back from my trip on Saturday. So Sunday morning, hopped on the scale because I weigh in first thing in the morning. And so the scale was up considerably from the week before. Okay. But I knew that when I was in Orlando, I knew the choices that I made, there were probably days that were over, but that was the choice I made. And so I just treat it as data. And I just, I know what makes the scale go up. I know what makes the scale go down. It's that simple, but it truly is, it is just data. Shale's asking on, do I do freestyle? Yeah, sure, I do. And so one of the things it taught me to do is I had to find a way to shave points out of my normal day. So probably the biggest change I made is I went from fried nuggets to grilled nuggets at Chick-fil-A. That saves me, I think it's 8 or so points a day, the days that I have that. So now what I do is I look at the list of things that are on freestyle and I make choices towards those foods more often. That's the reality. I'm eating a lot more vegetables. I'm eating a lot more lean chicken. So I'm just making it work for sure. Lori weighing in tomorrow. You can do this. Yeah, Kathy had company for the first time since starting Weight Watchers. It was a challenge, but you made it through. Right. So that's exactly it. So tomorrow you just go, okay, back. Shale, you're welcome for sure. April says 20 pounds from Wonderland, 40 pounds gone. Haven't been there since high school. 54. How cool is that? I always love it when people say, I haven't had this weight since high school. That truly is life changing. It's awesome. Let's see. Tammy says, doing good, feeling like I need a little sweet treat after lunch and dinner, like it signals my brain that the meal isn't over until I eat the treat. Anyone else? So Tammy, that's an emotional reaction, right? So, and so that is one of the things we've really got to get a handle on is if your brain is asking for something sweet every single evening, then you built the habit to train your brain to ask for it. So one of the things that I would ask and or recommend is understand those cycles. If it's something you're doing every single day and you're not really asking for it, but you're just habitually having it, that is what we have to replace that habit with something else. So in your scenario, I don't know what it would be, but as long as it's a habit that's causing you that, so basically you can ask yourself if there's been times when you're so full from dinner and you get up and have that treat anyways, that's a habit that's driving it. So when I recognize those, I don't think I have too many more of those that are bad habits anymore. I'll still have treats, but it's not from a habit standpoint. It's from a deliberate action of I want it now. So, and it's not daily. So you gotta figure out what's controlling this journey, and if it's your habits controlling the journey, then you gotta get them under control. Linda, this is being recorded only on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can rewatch it on Facebook and YouTube. Yep. Um, let's see. Yeah, Rebecca says freestyles help when you travel. So let's see. I'm scrolling through. Yeah, so Angie, I agree with that too, Angie. Right? Since freestyle has so many 0 point proteins, you don't get hungry enough for an evening snack like you do on Smart Points. I agree with that, for sure. Hmm. So Amy, we're going back to the travel conversation, right? So managing while traveling, it's no different. It really isn't. In international travel, there may be some obviously different options that are available when you travel internationally, but it all comes down to you make the best choice in the environment that you're in. And so if you do that, and then the other thing I knew about my travel is if you're going to travel for 30 days, then you've got to have a true no kidding game plan to get through that. But in my case, it was a week's worth of travel. I know what my routine is when I'm home. So I just worked my routine before I left. I worked my routine when I got back. Today was an on plan routine day. Nothing out of the ordinary. So, but I know that my day to day, when I'm at work, when I'm doing living here at home, I've trained myself so well. I've made my lifestyle adjustment so strong that when I'm home, it's solid. So when I travel, I consider that my balance. It's very kind of difficult to explain. But I even notice that even when I travel, I mean, I went to Subway twice because I was craving, a good, healthy, sandwich. The Subway was just down the street. I had chicken one night. So all things I had, things that we had ordered. I just made good choices. Now there were some nights the choices were, I'm sure they were higher in points, but it wasn't an uncontrollable action to have it. And that's the piece that I'm living with, is that everything I've eaten recently, in the last couple of years, it's all been a controllable mind over matter for me. Yep. Mandy, I'm back. Woohoo! Good to be back too. Um, so yeah, and like I said, so what I'm going to do is, I'm doing. I got a meeting tomorrow night. Tonight, well, I just really wanted to check in and see how you guys are doing. We're gonna stick around for a couple more minutes, but then I'll work on a real show for tomorrow to get that published out. So we'll do a live show tomorrow night, even though it's Tuesday. Tuesday is a difficult night for me, but I have a plan to get it done early. So we'll do a live show tomorrow as well. But I wanted to get back into this routine too. Kelly said, I barely touched my weekly points, and you've been steadily earning 120 plus activity points, but you're steadily losing after 4 weeks. If you're not hungry, at what point should I try to start eating more of those to make sure my metabolism doesn't slow down? Kelly, I would say you're going to have to figure that out. So here's the scenario, right? A lot of us think we're burning way more calories than we're eating. So let's just say, burning 500 calories a day is a lot of work. It really, really is, on top of your normal day. So a normal day, your plan counts for that. But to burn an additional 500 calories, it's a deliberate action. So to do that, if you're doing that consistently, then you're going to know that you need more fuel. But if you're not sure if you do or not, I would say don't worry about it. Continue tracking, and if the scale starts acting funky, then maybe, but you're going to recognize if you need more food or not. And then if you do, then the 0 point foods are there to help you out for sure. Um, yeah. Let's see. No, Amy, it's absolutely not. So here's, it's funny. You guys saw, one of the things I'm working on this week is I'm working on trying to get trying to get into the studio. I got like 5 different projects going on right now, which is absolutely crazy. So I'm working on trying to get in the studio, working on trying to get a couple other contracts signed, and then working on the logo design. You saw that. But Amy's asking, is it shallow that my why is that I want to look better? No, absolutely not. Because I can tell you, and the reason this ties in is so people were asking me, like, you saw a lot of the logos designs, and I was pretty much doing, my hair all spiky, whatever, like that. And so what's interesting is forever, I would never ever do anything like that. My hair was never long enough to grab. But what's interesting is when I finally lost the weight, I finally started developing a little bit of self confidence. I finally would walk into a room and not fear being the biggest guy in the room, not fear that everyone's looking at me because I'm overweight. Now I know I just blend into society in a sense where I don't completely stand out as the biggest guy in my own opinion, whether or not I did or not. But that's how I felt. Anytime walking into an environment like that, I hated it. So when I finally shed that weight, I know I feel better, and I look better. And so now I don't mind doing things that draw attention to myself in a sense where, I mean, it's freeing to me to wear my hair kind of crazy. It's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm not worried that someone's going to say, oh my God, look at that big guy with the hair all messy. What's he trying to do? And so all that goes away. So the truly wanting to look better, man, that's a great reason to do this. And it's real. You actually can change it. So it's kind of fun. So go do it. Um, I love all of you chimed in. No, 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 no. I like it. Mick, hello. Um, yeah, so Maggie's a great here. Maggie's, I'm glad I don't use my fit points because your workouts have been derailed. You fractured your left ankle and you sprained your MCL in the right knee. Right. So it's the number one reason I say your fit points are extra credit in your weight loss is because whatever you do to lose the weight, you've got to learn to do to maintain the weight. If you lose the weight because you walk 30,000 steps a day, then the day you want to maintain your weight, you need to continue working 30,000 steps a day. The reason I say that though is because if you're training your body to eat 5 meals a day because you're working out so much, the day you can't work out, you now have to retrain yourself to not eat 5 meals a day. So, fit points are extra credit in your weight loss. That's how I interpret them. So Angie, that's another whole conversation. Angie says, I'm gradually liking the way you look, but I'm still not in love with the way you look. You'll get there in a sense where, and I had this conversation also today. Society doesn't help us, right? If you turn over, any fashion magazine, what those people look like, those people have never been overweight in a day in their life. So for us who were overweight and now working down towards that, we're not going to get to that same level very easily. So we're going to live somewhere in the middle, and we're going to live in this middle zone where we're at an ideal weight, we're at an ideal fitness level, and we really love clothes because they hide all of our imperfections. That's the stage I'm happy in. Again, my scale is data. I can range 10 to 15 pounds on my scale very comfortably, very happy. All the clothes I have still fit when I do that, and I'm okay with it. And because the clothes I have hide that little bit of imperfection, but it makes me happy to have this balance in my life. So it's a different way to look at it for sure. Amy says, this girl wears a 2-piece swimsuit on vacation. It's amazing how the person who cares the most what I look like is me. And no one bats an eye. Yep. That's awesome. Cheryl says, 2 guys at work came up to me at separate times to tell you they've lost weight. That is awesome. When you are the inspiration for somebody else, that is what takes this journey to a whole new level. That's the reason we continue to do this show. It's the number one reason I wanted to tune in with you tonight, is because I like hearing how well you're doing. I like seeing you guys inspiring each other. And it's the one thing that really keeps me going, is seeing people completely change their lives simply because I said you could do it. That's how I ended up getting to my point in the journey where I ended up losing the weight, is because I just figured out that someone proved to me I could do it. So I went and did it my own. So very, very, very fun. see. Scrolling through here. Mary's saying, does anyone else change by 5 pounds daily up and down? I don't know how I can do goal for 6 weeks. If you can be on, yeah, you can be under. Yeah, just set a goal weight that you're happy with, and be content. If you end up being under, you're under. Don't worry about it. That's the one thing I don't even know what their plan is, but the 2 pound range thing I think is it's a little tough for me. But I don't care about that. What I'm focusing on is I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm eating right, and I'm enjoying life. And if that's not goal, I don't know what is. So, could I live on and some people do, but could I live on a 1 pound or a 2 pound window? Sure. Positively, I could do that. Would it be the same level of balance that I have in my life now? No. So that's why I say it's just data. I understand the balance side of it. Alicia is saying she's reading a book called Learned Optimism. Talks about the link between learned helplessness. Yeah, no, it really is. Much of the stuff, it's how you start your day, right? If you start your day, you wake up on fire, ready to go, you'll be on fire all day for the most part. If you wake up your day going, oh, I got blah, blah, it's going to be a long day. Yeah. Jamie, so sorry for that. Jamie says she found her new Y 2 weeks ago. Had to say goodbye to her sweet dog, Gracie. Determined to continue walking and stay committed to getting fit in her memory. Very cool. Yeah, it's tough, right? When our friends leave us, because we put our dog down not long ago, maybe 8 months or so ago. It's terrible. It's not fun at all, but we know we gave them the best life they could have. That's kind of the fun part. The dog we picked up from a shelter, that if she didn't live here for the great life that she had, I don't know what she would have done. So we just celebrate that. Hi Jamie's sister. Hello. Very fun. Very fun. Yeah, Jan says, become too comfortable. Freestyle is giving me a new motivation. Yeah, I think that's the cool thing about freestyle, right? Is that it gives you an opportunity. Good night, Lee. It gives you an opportunity to reassess what you're doing and find out what's working and find out what's not working. It forced me to relook at a lot of the foods that I was eating that I thought was good, and make a choice, because when they took the points away from me, I had to make adjustments, and so I did that, and it is teaching me to eat better, so I'm comfortable with that. Robin from Atlanta, hello. This is fun. Jennifer from Massachusetts, I'm so close to goal. You've never been this size in my adult life. I'm down 76 pounds since December, 101 from your highest. Very cool. You're struggling with knowing what goal will be. You feel great and want to continue, not complacent, but not sure I will know what goal is for me. Jennifer, when you start having those conversations, you're pretty much there. So it really, I'm a big fan. This is my opinion only. I'm a big fan of goal being a look, a feel, and a feeling. And so if you wake up happy with yourself, loving yourself, and the clothes you have fit, and your doctor agrees that you're fit and healthy, that's goal, right? So I don't know. I don't know how else to rephrase it. It's not about a number on the scale. I could go. I can go hop on the scale now. I can go eat a bunch of food, hop on the scale in 10 seconds, and the number will be up by 5 or 6 pounds. Doesn't make me any less healthy. It makes me have a stomach full of food. So I'm just not, again, I'm 100% in. I weigh myself every single day regardless. I understand the number on the scale. I want to understand how that drives you. I understand how that is, in my case too. I use that, but I use it differently than a punishment of, oh, you weigh too much, or oh, you don't weigh enough, or whatever. It's just one data element in my journey. I equate it to, if I go to the doctor tomorrow and he takes my temperature and he's 90, 99, he's not going to put me on medicine, because it's supposed to be 98.6. That's what the dictionary says. The medical dictionary, 98.6 is the ideal temperature. Okay, there's a range. And so if the range is 2 pounds or the range is 10 pounds, but For me, the range is it's I look good, I feel good, my clothes fit, and I have a perfect, healthy, balanced life. That's goal. So Jennifer, you're going to get to that point and you'll recognize it. And so at that point, as long as everyone, your whole system agrees, you're at goal. Mary from Glendale, good evening to you. Yeah, so Marie says, thank you for your insight on freestyle. That really helps. It's exactly how I felt. You lost 64 pounds on smart points and have 8 to get back to goal. You didn't want to change anything you were doing because it's working. No, I mean, so if you were in, when they first announced freestyle to me, when did I first hear about it? Somewhere in October, maybe, or maybe November, I think, somewhere early on. And no, I was the same. I was like, wait, I lost all my weight on smart points. I'm not ready for a new program. I'm still trying to figure this one out. Um, so yeah, I didn't revolt, in that sense, but I fought it. And so what I continued doing is I know about what I eat every day. I know about how many points all it is, and I keep it all on track. And so I just slowly made adjustments. Some days I did well, some days I didn't go well. And so, but the reality is Smart Points taught me how to eat right. Freestyle is taking it to another level for me, and it's working. I'm eating way better now than even 6 months ago. Robin, check it from Dayton. Good evening to you. Liz bought size 6 jeans. Congratulations. Feels good. Hello on Instagram. IG Owls. Very fun. It's a neat username. Hello, Anna Taylor. Good evening to you. Let's see. Yeah. Lori says it feels awesome to be able to run. Yeah, it sure does. Yeah. So Robin, I said that on Connect today, right? If I knew more than Weight Watchers does about losing weight, then you wouldn't be here. So you will trust Weight Watchers. So I completely agree with that. Now, hey, there is no one size fits all for everybody. I completely understand that, but the reality is all of the research that they've done, I'm positive, is more research than I've done. So they may not have a program that fits everybody, but they're going to have a program that fits a lot of people. And I'm able to adjust and be in that a lot of people group. And so it kind of me, it was the post I put on Twitter the other day, is when I hit rock bottom, I mean, it truly was. It was rock bottom. And you can't be at the worst place in your life, which I was. You can't be there begging for help. And then when the first person comes along to help you, you can't say, well, I don't want that kind of help. Right? So I was at the point where I'm like, I will do anything. Just let's figure that I will do anything. And so that to me was the rock bottom moment. And so can you imagine, it's kind of like the guy begging on the side of the street for food, and you walk up and you hand him food and I don't want food. Like, well, then you're truly not hungry. If you're not hungry enough to take food from someone to give it to you, you're not hungry. You're out there begging for money. So in my scenario, I was downright miserable. I was getting ready to lose my military career, obviously, and we talked about that before. And so I said I'm willing to try anything. And so that's when I just made it stick. And so when Weight Watchers came along, here's the plan. I'm like, okay, I'm going to 100% do everything you tell me to do. You've given me a plan that's proven, that works. I don't agree with a lot of it. I still don't even agree with a lot of the smart point stuff in that sense. Like, not necessarily, not that I don't agree, but it's not how I lived my life. So it was a conflict of my life, but I said, I either have to trust them 100% or not, or find something else I can trust 100%. So when you start working half of this and half of that, you're building your own plan, and there's no proof that half plan works. So the only proof I had was that here was a plan. The plan has been proven. The plan has worked. They showed me role models of people who've done it. So I just followed that plan. So that's where it's at. So now, and again, I'm a firm believer that there's not one program that's going to work for everybody, but we've proven that this program does work. If you can jump into that stream, it will probably work. And I think where a lot of times where the struggle is that, I mean, trust me, there's many things I'd rather do that I used to do that I just can't as much anymore. So it's a change of a lifestyle that's difficult for sure. Anna checking in from Tallahassee. Hello. Morris checking in says my wife loves freestyle. Yep, I hear that a lot. I hear from a lot. I have 2 different meetings a week. One meeting loves it, one meeting it doesn't. Um, yeah. So Laura's saying would like to know more about learning to manage obesity. So I have a podcast episode of my own, Laura, on that, and I did a blog post on that. So go to fatdag.com, click on the blog post. And then the other thing is in my podcast, search for managed obesity. I believe it's in there. I don't know which episode number it is. Um, but in essence, I'll give you a quick summary of it. In essence, is I was educated on the fact that for me, obesity is a disease. It's not much different than a drug addiction. It's not much different than a sugar or an alcohol addiction or a tobacco addiction. I have an eating addiction. So I understand now, and the way it transpired is when I was up doing my talk in Washington, D.C., one of the very smart people in the room came up to me and during my presentation, and he said, "So how are you managing your obesity today?" And it was interesting when he said that because, here I was at the room 180 some pounds, whatever it was, and I was far from the visual definition of obese, very very far from it. So when he asked me how I was managing my obesity, my first reaction was, "What do you mean I'm managing it? I'm not. There's nothing to manage." And then as the conversation went on, I kind of truly understood that no, he's absolutely right. Is if I don't keep my eye on the ball and if I don't live this new lifestyle, that I can very easily go back. My brain is wired to be obese. It would take very little. The foods that I crave even still today, in the quantities that I used to eat them in, are not healthy at all. So I have to understand that for the rest of my life, I have to be mindful of that potential and manage it just like I would any other project. And so the management tool that I use is Weight Watchers. And the management tool I use says you can have this many points a day, you can have this much food in the day, this food is this point, you can earn activity points. So I use that project management software to manage my life and to keep me from going back to where I was. So that's what I mean by managing obesity. Angie says eat a lot of chicken and veggies. Yeah. Again, if you told me I have 2 choices, if you told me I had to eat chicken every day for the rest of my life or be obese again, I'd choose chicken. It's that simple. Do I want chicken every single night for the rest of my life? No. But of the 2 choices, I would take that one hands down. So fortunately, there are other options besides chicken. Fortunately, there are a million different ways to prepare chicken. And so it all comes back to that management. And what do you want? To me, I'd rather live a healthy, fit life. So I'm willing to give up a lot of other things because of it. Mary, loving freestyle, good work. Susan checking in from Virginia, hello. Kim, so did I. Kim said she had the Fat Dag special at Chick-fil-A today. Me too. Yep. Sarasota, Elaine's checking in. Yeah, Pam says lost 5 pounds from month January and quit smoking. Congratulations. That's good work on both accounts. Very, very proud of you. Lori said coworkers said are glad her pants fit well. Very fun. It is fun when people start noticing you're wearing the right size clothes. You can always wear clothes that are a size or two too big. They will always fit. So Faith Ann says 52 pounds down and will be 54 on February 2nd. Loving freestyle. Very nice. Very cool. Yeah, so that's exactly it, Rob. When I travel doing errands, I pack myself a lunch box with a snack. It's all that pre-preparation. It's just the thing that we have to figure out is that this is so livable. You can do this no matter what. That's the That's the fun part of this. Renee, checking in from Lake Elsinore. Good evening. Vicky, I'm so glad you found it too. Was down 108 pounds, had a 10-pound setback on the way back down to the last 20. Very, very cool. So 108 pounds is incredible. If you gave 10 of them back, that's still very much incredible. And so the cool thing is if you lost 108, you know how to do it. So you just snap your brain back in and you manage it. Very, very fun. So IG out. Did I miss your actual first name? I can't remember. It's okay if I did. Let me see. No. She says on Instagram, 52 pounds down. Congratulations. Incredible work. Having a hard time getting lower, but still need to lose 28 for a lifetime. Lori. So yeah, Lori, it's really, I don't, it's going to be a different conversation. I don't know your journey specifically, but if you've lost 52 pounds, there's no doubt in my mind you understand how the program works. So you know exactly how to work the program. A lot of folks, maybe not you, I don't know, but a lot of folks, we get in that middle, we get in that complacency mode, and all of a sudden, we on day one, we come home from Weight Watchers, we scan everything in our cabinet, we write the points on every single box, and then, somewhere down the road, we become down 52 pounds, and instead of scanning every box, we guess at some of it. We don't write on the boxes anymore. All that little stuff that we did on day one, we don't do in the middle. And all that little stuff adds up. The difference between maintaining your weight and losing weight is only about 6 points a day. So, you could very easily bring 6 points back into your day accidentally by a little bit of overeating, a little bit of not tracking, a little bit of, it's just a Hershey's Kiss. There is no one watching on any of these platforms that one Hershey's Kiss is going to derail you. None of you. But if you don't track it and you do that 2 or 3 times a day and you do that every day, that's kind of how it starts. Is that when we first join Weight Watchers, we say no to every single Hershey's Kiss on the planet. Somewhere in the middle, we're willing to have one again, and then somewhere later down the road, we're willing to have 2, and then at some point, we have them on occasion, and then what we always say is, I'm doing everything right, and the plan's not working. And the reality is how many of you how many of you have food numbers written on your pantry right now? Probably very few, but how many did it the first week? That's a huge difference. So if you did that the first week, go do it now and see if it changes. So YouTube's asking how I handle cravings, and so cravings a lot of times are very often it's a habit. We talked about that earlier with Tammy. She's asking about, craving a sweet something. And so very often it's like if I sit and watch a football game, for some reason I crave Doritos, Pepsi, and pizza. I'm completely okay not having those 3 things. But when I sit in front of a TV to watch a football game, for some reason, that's the first thing I think of. I recognize that is a habit. And so therefore, because once I recognize that it's a habit, I replace that habit with something else. So you have to trade one habit for another. I'm kind of a big believer in that. If you have a whole list of habits, you got to do something different in that same, that's very similar. So, so now when I sit in front of a football game, the habit is do this on the computer or grab an apple or read a book or do, push-ups or squats or something. But you've got to replace your habit of eating with something different. And you have to recognize first that it is a craving, that is a habit, not an actual food craving. Chances are, if it's a food craving, a bottle of water and a piece of fruit will will take care of it. Kristen says hello. Very hello to you. Kaylin's here. Hello. Good evening to you. Arisa48 on Instagram. Hello. Kristen lost weight again this week. That's the way it works. That's awesome. So awesome. Kristen, I'm down to 295.2. Very nice. Keep on trucking. Just 1 pound at a time. That's how it works. Down 23.2. Very nice. Yeah, Anna, we're not going to be much longer. I just wanted to really just check in and work on tomorrow's show with you all, just to see what just wanted to really check in. I know been gone for a week, and I knew that if I did an actual show tonight, that we wouldn't have this much interaction. And I really just kind of wanted to hang out with you tonight. So that's the whole purpose for this show, is to get reacquainted, you know, and say hi. And then tomorrow we'll get rolled back into a show. So. Yeah, Angie says the same thing. Angie says, hitting Wonderland is giving you a boost by hitting goal. You never ever want to leave Wonderland again. I agree with that completely. Yep. Yeah, Lee, that is a great feeling when you finally become out of the, you know, morbidly obese into obese and obese into overweight and obese. Yeah, it's so fun when you can change those. Let's see. Facebook is locked up. It's working over here. Let me see. Ellen checking in from Miami. Let's see. Lots of. Oh my goodness. Chris is checking in. Very fun. Henry, good evening. Yep. You know, that's a very common Henry, right? Henry saying he loves freestyle now that the holidays are over. You know, I think everybody that, not everyone, but a majority of the folks in my meeting room who have joined are very happy with freestyle. It's only those that made the transition, not only, I don't mean to say only, but those who made the transition are finding it harder than those who joined for the first time. So, yeah. Let's go. Cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and I want to wrap this up. I just really wanted to say hi for, you know, a quick hour here. It's already been an hour, so that's kind of fun. But so Facebook is freezing up. Interesting. I don't know what that's going on with that. All right, but it seems like it's still working over here, so it's got to be an internet thing. But anyway, so cool. Anyway, that's the plan for sure. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I just really wanted to say, hey, I wanted to just check in with you all before we start working on episode 170. I guess tomorrow is the plan. So we'll get that going. Yeah, Kathy, I agree. It was fun, you know, for sure. Just to kind of just get caught up, get reacquainted. We'll be back here tomorrow night. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes. That's always my plan. But let's go ahead and get that locked in. But thank you all for being here. Thanks for the warm welcomes. Thanks for the patience while you were gone. Thank you for those of you, I know, Ellen, those of you who made donations through Patreon. Thank you as always for that. It's looking like February is going to be a very, very good month with not a lot of commercials, which is very cool. So I appreciate that. So if you got anything specific you want to hit in an email tomorrow based on this conversation, shoot me an email with the subject 170 specifically, just for you guys that are watching live right now. And I'll see if we do a special show tomorrow of just your thoughts from just this group who's watching tonight. So subject of 170, shoot it to me, and we'll see what tomorrow's show looks like, because I haven't started writing it yet. So, all right, tickets to Detroit are still available, so go see that. We'll see you on February 10th in Detroit. And then I guess that's it. So, cool. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all your support again. Thanks for being a wonderful wingman. Let's rock this thing, shall we? Have a great night. It's Monday night. We'll see you Tuesday. I wish you good focus. Let's go ahead and end YouTube first.